This is the Chancellor's Report from 89.7 WUWM, Milwaukee's NPR, featuring Thomas Gibson, Chancellor of the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. And here's your host, WUWM General Manager, David Lee.
Hi, thank you for joining us on the UWM Chancellor's Report here on 89.7 WUWM. I'm David Lee, General Manager at the station, and I am here today with UWM's new leader, Chancellor Thomas Gibson. Hello, Chancellor.
Hello, David. Thank you for having me today.
Well, I am so excited about today because all of us in the UWM community, and I would say largely in our city, have been so eagerly awaiting your arrival. And now is our chance to sit down and get to know you a little bit. So welcome.
Thank you so much. I am so honored, humbled, and thrilled for this opportunity to serve UWM as Chancellor.
This is so exciting.
Yes.
Okay, so first question, most important question. We all know that moving is awful. And you didn't have that far to move,
This is true.
given that you've moved from Stevens Point. But how did your move to Milwaukee go?
So actually, I don't have any real horror stories
Nothing.
regarding the move, but I do dislike moving. But what I did learn in the process was that we had several boxes that were still unopened from our move to Stevens
Yeah.
Point. So it seems to me that I've been just carrying boxes of stuff from city to city, state to state for a few years now. That's not a good feeling.
Well, I was counting, right? So you basically came from the East Coast to the Midwest, to Indiana, Ohio, Stevens Point, and here.
Yes.
Did any of those boxes survive from any of the previous moves, or had you actually unpacked a few of those boxes in the interim?
Embarrassingly, yes. There were a few boxes that remained unopened
Yeah.
since my travels from the East Coast to the Midwest.
Well, Chancellor, I'm going to be your accountability partner, and with the thousands of people listening, I'm going to follow up with you in the next year and find out whether or not all those boxes got unpacked because we want to keep you here. Now.
So that's the accountability that I need. Thank you, David.
I have, as we were talking in the quote unquote green room here, I've lived here for 15 years. I'm a transplant as well. I moved here from Los Angeles about 15 years ago, and what I found, and this is my initial sort of my bit of advice to you, is that be prepared to stay because Milwaukee is an incredible place, and my guess is that you won't want to leave us.
That's my thinking as well. I've had opportunities to visit the city in the past and always felt the vibrancy, the energy of the city. And I'm looking forward to exploring all that is Milwaukee.
That's great. So you went through a very vigorous search process over the last few months. Um, and a lot of us had the opportunity to sit in on some of those sessions, but many of our listeners might not have. So tell us a little bit about yourself. Tell us a little bit about your background. What are some of the highlights?
Sure. So I fell into higher education. I studied mass communication as a undergrad and was a English minor and focused on contemporary drama. And I thought that I wanted to pursue a career as a news anchor.
Yeah.
Actually, I did have an opportunity to work in television for a Fox affiliate in Connecticut. However, it was behind the scenes and production. And I enjoyed that experience. I served this TV station for approximately 4 years. And then the novelty of working in television began to wane for me.
Yeah.
And I began to reflect on the time in which I felt most fulfilled. And for me, it was as an undergraduate in college, serving as a resident assistant a tutor, a campus tour ambassador. So I immediately began to think about what I would need to do to pursue a career in higher education. So that meant returning to school, graduate school. So I did that and was able to secure my first position in higher education at a small private college in Connecticut as a residence hall director. And boy, that was a transformative
Mm.
experience for me. It cemented that I had indeed made the right decision, and I hadn't looked back since.
So it sounds like really focusing on students and sort of ensuring that students at this very unique moment in life have all they need to succeed, right? Like that feels very service oriented.
It's my why.
Yeah.
It's the reason why I pursued a career in higher ed. Is based on this simple premise of working each day to help more students succeed.
That's great. So you spent 4 years at Stevens Point. What intrigued you about UWM and about Milwaukee in particular?
So I've always admired UWM from a distance. I really respected its institutional capabilities, their mission of research, access, and community engagement really resonated with me both on a personal and professional level. And I believe that the university has tremendous opportunities to help improve the quality of lives for Milwaukee citizens and beyond. And I wanted to be a part of those priorities.
That's really powerful. I think the thing that has always inspired me is that dual mission of access and research.
Yes.
There's so few of us, right? And
Yes.
and and to have one in this city serving our community is just absolutely incredible. Um, so we talked about student focus, but when you really drill down to brass tacks, UWM has, as you know, numerous schools and colleges with more than 22,000 students. I can't even like imagine what that number sounds like. And then beyond that, 4,000 employees. And now you're at the helm of all of that. How do you get your arms around that?
Colleague by colleague, department by department,
Today's one of those days, right?
yes, school by school,
Yeah.
division by division. It's about being really intentional about those engagements, listening intently, and taking action as appropriate. This particular approach for me makes the organization feels much smaller.
Yeah. I've always been struck that as somebody who, as you rise through the ranks of administration, you get farther and farther away from the daily sort of in the field kind of stuff. You're in a different field, but you're not in sort of the more direct service kind of sense, right? How do what brings you back to that sense of being back in that RA role, right? And now that
Mm.
you're in the role of leading such a big institution.
Right. So I think one has to prioritize those moments that fuels us, that energizes us, and for me is opportunities to engage with students, to spend some time speaking with faculty colleagues and hearing about their research and creative pursuits. Those are the moments that keeps me grounded
Yeah,
and mindful of the important work that it is that I and we do collectively.
that's great. This might be an unfair question, but here at WWM, our city's trusted news source, um, we ask tough questions. What is your at a month in? What is your vision for UWM?
So that is a rather appropriate
Oh,
question,
really? Okay, okay,
David, and
I love it.
I certainly expected it.
Yeah,
My vision for UWM is to ensure that it continues to be a model of a public service
Mm.
university. This is about being in service to others, in service to the community of Milwaukee, in service to the state and beyond. And we provide and pursue this service through our research activities and endeavors, through our mission to expand educational access and really be a steward of place and fully understanding what that means to feel accountable to the communities in which we reside.
I'm really, really inspired by that. I oftentimes, over the last 6 or 7 months, as the scrutiny on public institutions and public radio have really increased, we've been talking a lot about how this unit, this service, WWM, is essentially public service to our community, right?
Yes.
And like in the context of that vision,
Hmm.
I think that's incredibly aligned, and I
Agreed.
personally find that incredibly inspiring. Um, but of course, incredible vision. I think visionary thinkers oftentimes are able to see the thing. How do you know that you are? How will you know that you've succeeded
So
or that we've succeeded? Right?
absolutely. So our mission serves as our guidepost,
Yeah.
right? So and as well as others will be assessing our ability to deliver on our mission.
Yeah.
What does that look like in practice? How many students are we affording educational opportunities at UWM? How many students are we graduating and that allows them to secure an employment that allows them to serve their families? How are we tackling some of the cities, the state, and beyond most thorniest problems through our research endeavors? Uh, those would be the measures that I would look to determine if I and collectively we as an institution are delivering on and exceeding on.
So we're also talking about delivering on a mission in the context where, as we talked about just a little while ago, higher education being and public institutions, right, facing a number of incredibly complex and tough challenges. Um, what do you think are some of the most important challenges, some of the biggest challenges, and what do you think it's going to take to overcome them?
So, indeed, this is a watershed moment for higher education as a sector. And I certainly am experiencing and certainly paying attention to enrollment pressures and
Yeah,
the increasing competitiveness landscape to attract students. I'm paying attention to the limited number of or amount of resources that will help fuel our ability to deliver on on our mission. And I'm also paying attention to and feeling some of the inflationary pressures. And I would be remiss if I didn't share the increased interest in higher education as a sector from various industries and points of our country. It's affording optimism at times and criticism at other times. So collectively, I think that we are needing to better tell our story
hmm,
and better share how we are impacting the lives of many and helping to contribute to the state's competitive advantage.
I've been struck that, over the last 2 plus years that I've been in this position and I've hosted however many of these with your predecessor, that a lot of what comes up, I'm surprised by in the stories that we've told about what's happening at the university or some of the impacts the university has generated. I'm surprised by. I work here, right?
Right.
I'm an employee, and
Right.
so I think I think that's right, right? How do we better tell the story not
Yes.
only about the university but about its place, right?
Yes,
And I
its
think
impact.
that's right.
Right.
That's right. I mean, to your point earlier about being a steward of place, I think is
Yes.
really, really powerful.
Yes.
Okay. So speaking of place, you're not from here. You are not even from Wisconsin, right?
No, no.
We've talked a little bit about the job. Let's transition to you. Where'd you grow up? Tell us a little bit about yourself.
So I grew up in New Haven, Connecticut. New Haven, the home of the best pizza on earth.
Ooh,
David,
that's
you can debate me
well.
if you like.
I've been there.
Okay.
Wait. Sally's or
Sally's, Pepe's,
oh, so all of the pizza.
yes.
I
There's many to choose from. So I will not, at least on air,
yeah yeah. You're
the,
not choosing one.
no,
Yeah
I'm not
yeah
going to
yeah
choose
yeah
Pepe's
yeah.
or Sally's.
Okay.
They are both fantastic.
Yeah.
Again, grew up in Connecticut. Went to school, college in Connecticut and Rhode Island. I have two siblings,
Yeah.
and Connecticut was really instrumental in my growth and my developing my curiosity, my ambition, and drive to serve.
How did you find your way to the Midwest?
So it's an interesting story, and I will endeavor
Yeah,
to be brief.
I love it.
So I was on my honeymoon. My wife and I was on our
To the
honeymoon.
Midwest?
Wait, no, no, no,
Okay,
no,
all
no,
right.
no, not quite. In the Caribbean,
Okay, all right,
and I was
all right.
on this dinner cruise boat, and seated next to me was a couple who were just vacationing,
Yeah.
and we struck up a conversation, and I had learned that the woman who I was seated next to also worked in higher education,
Mm,
and was a vice president at the time at a institution in the Midwest. And my wife looked a little annoyed. We're
yeah,
on our honeymoon, and I'm talking about higher education and the student success
yeah.
landscape with the person next to me. But good conversation, good exchange. Didn't think much of it, but when we returned to the States, perhaps a week or two later, this woman found me, sent me an email, and shared an opportunity at her
Mm,
institution that she asked if I would be interested in applying
yeah.
to.
So the moral of the story is when you're on a honeymoon on a cruise ship dinner boat, talk to everybody
Talk to
and
everyone.
yeah,
You
you
just
never know.
you never know, what opportunities may be in stored or presented to you.
That's great.
Yes.
We know that you love higher education based on that story and
Mhm,
student success and the
mhm,
student success landscape.
mhm.
Outside of work, tell us a little bit about your hobbies. What do you love doing?
So my wife and I, and we have an 8-year-old daughter, but we love trying new restaurants.
Yeah.
My wife would describe herself as a foodie, somewhat more than I. But I too enjoy trying new foods, new restaurants. We love the theater. We love
Mm,
live music, and we really enjoy just being outdoors, particularly my daughter. She loves the mini parks, the opportunity to access the lake, and we're trying to ensure that we have some of those experiences over the summer.
yeah.
But the summer is really getting away from
Yeah.
us. But we really enjoy just being out discovering new things.
Well, I got to tell you, Chancellor, food, arts, live music, outdoors. I think you've just ticked off all the four things that make Milwaukee an incredible place.
A perfect match.
That perfect match. Jason's in back, like there we go. I mean, you basically just won yourself into
Okay.
Milwaukeean of the Year. That's great. Okay, so as we look ahead to some future shows, I'm really excited for our listeners to see UWM and our city through your eyes. Are there any parts of UWM that you're particularly interested in exploring or talking about?
Absolutely. I can't wait to have an opportunity to explore the arts,
Yeah.
exhibits,
Mm.
performances, engage with faculty and their labs to better understand their research pursuits. Division 1 athletics, it's been some time since I've been at an institution with Division 1 athletics. So I'm looking forward to exploring and sharing with the city of Milwaukee all that is great about UWM.
So you had noted just a little bit earlier about your love of live music, and as you know, our city is home to the world's largest music festival. You want to share a little bit about your love of '90s R&B and hip hop?
Absolutely. I heard my first rap song in the year 1980,
Yeah,
and it was "Rapper's Delight,"
Rapper's Delight, of course.
performed
Yeah,
by the
yeah,
Sugar
yeah,
Hill
yeah,
Gang.
yeah.
And that song largely has been the soundtrack, if you will, to my life. I really appreciated the boastfulness of the rappers, their ability to tell stories over this rhythmic beat that cause you just to bop your head or
Yeah,
something.
yeah, yeah.
So I really have been just a fan of early 1980s, 1990s hip hop and R&B music.
I love it.
Yeah.
Um, and you'd mentioned your family, your wife and your young daughter. What do they think of Milwaukee so far?
Oh, they love it. They love it because when we would visit larger cities such as Chicago, or when we would return back to New Haven, Connecticut, my daughter would just be fascinated by the tall buildings,
Mm.
the sea of lights, the diversity of people. So she would people watch quite a bit, and we don't have as many of those opportunities in Stevens Point, but we definitely called it home for a period of our lives, and it's a place that we really and truly enjoyed. We're looking forward to really exploring again all that is Milwaukee. Milwaukee has so much to share.
That's great. Okay, so as you settle into your life here, and as we're sort of winding our time down here, I think we should close out each show with each of us sharing the coolest thing we've done in the last month, right? Let's leave on a high, fun note. Um, Tom, why don't you go first?
So my family and I had an opportunity to view the Air and Water Show,
Oh yeah.
and that was a lot of fun. That was fantastic,
Yeah.
and it's something that we look forward to viewing again next year.
It is always surprising to me how low they are.
Yes,
From my office, you can see them practicing, and it scares me every time.
yes. It startled me a few times as well.
But until you saw it, and you're like, oh, I get it now.
Right.
So the coolest thing I did in the last month, as we were talking a little bit previous to recording, I went to school for film and thought that I'd become a filmmaker, actor, writer, director, and so I love movies. And if you
Yes.
haven't already, Milwaukee Film, one of our partners here, is an incredible community institution. They hold incredible film festival, educational programming, and just great movies on the east side
Mhm.
of our city. And last week, they showed, or 2 weeks ago, they showed the 25th anniversary of Wong Kar-wai's In the Mood for Love,
Wow.
which I've never seen it on the big screen,
Mhm.
and so being able to see a restored version of it projected on the big screen was just incredible. It's one of my favorite movies of all time, and being able to experience that in a big theater was just really really delightful.
That's really fantastic, and I don't know that I had the opportunity to share this with you, but I was accepted to film school,
Oh,
a MFA
that,
program at the City University of New
yeah,
York. I deferred my admissions for a year or two, And then I began working and never returned to it, and decided to do a master's in
Yeah,
education,
yeah.
a doc degree. But sometimes I do think about what might my life had been if I accepted admissions to
Yeah.
that MFA program and studied film in New York City.
Chancellor, I think you made the right choice. That's,
I think I agree.
I think you made the right choice. You could be running a radio station now. As again, our time is running down, and want to close up with just this one really funny insight. I learned in doing some of my research that for the holidays, when you joined UW Stevens Point, they gave you Stevie the Pointer, a big Stevie the Pointer.
Yes.
My hope, and this is for all of the UWM folks listening, that we get you Pounce the Panther so that you can have all of our mascots. You'll be the only person with more than one.
That would be fantastic. I'm looking forward to it.
Well, Tom, we are thrilled to have you as our next chancellor, our current chancellor, our new chancellor. And thank you so much for taking some time to visit and to sit in the hot seat with me. We are going to be continuing this conversation month over month, and learning about UWM through your eyes, and getting to know you a little bit more over the next year. And I can't wait to get started.
Fantastic. As am I. Thank you for having me, David.
You've been listening to the Chancellor's Report, featuring Thomas Gibson, Chancellor of the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. If you'd like more information, go to uwm.edu/chancellor.